Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I'll give you a little synopsis of what's going on, but just want to make a note of this tragedy that happened this morning, the collapse of the bridge in Baltimore. So I hope any viewers from Baltimore are safe. And this thing gets squared away as soon as possible and they are able to find people. So let's see what happened today.
I heard they canceled the search and rescue or the search, but they're changing the search from a search to from um people who would be undead to people who would be unalive.
Yes, it's somebody asked me this question if I thought they would be alive, and I said probably not. It's been more than, at the time that I asked, more than 12 hours in the water, hypothermia, very unlikely, and who knows what kind of things happened to them if they got hurt or
Just like
stuff
the
like
first couple people they found immediately, if they were gonna find them, they would have found them within
yes.
that
So
first time.
rest in peace to these people, and it's a tragedy. This thing crumbled like cookies. Cookie crumbles. Okay,
If you
so to
had
get back,
not been trying to get away prior, if you had not seen it coming and been running off the bridge prior to it crashing, you really didn't have time to um, do anything because it just crumbled like a
yeah, it
hot.
just it just crumbled like cookies,
Yeah,
like it
it was
disintegrated.
just
It was
immediate.
yeah, I saw some of the videos and I was like, wow, those people that were like really driving by at the last second and were able to make it across, God was with them because I was like, this thing is about to like crumble. And I saw like, I would say like three or four cars on the video that were able to pass through. So I was like, man, those people must have been like praying and like kissing the ground and
God
saying
was
they,
with
but yes, God was with them. So amen to that. So yeah, um, I didn't think it would collapse like that. And when I saw it, I was shocked. So, but yeah, enough about this. We'll get, if as we get more information, maybe we'll talk about it. Let's get back to our scheduled program. The market today, per this, looked like it was negative. For the most part, I would say the Dow was kind of flat. S&P not really very down, 0.28%. Nasdaq, 0.40%. Russell, 0.20%. And the VIX, it didn't really have that much volatility. So that's why I kind of say it's kind of flat because usually when things go up or down, the volatility is kind of extra. Um, so yeah, I didn't think it was either up or down today, I guess. I wasn't really much trading today, but I didn't think didn't have that much movement, at least for when I was looking at stuff. For tomorrow, no surprise, I guess. Things are going to be looking forward. It's already up more than 20% on most of the indices. So I don't know what caused that, but things are looking good, I guess, for people that are going long. Okay, so let's go into the Tradestation and let's take a look at maybe the top 20 or the top 10 winners and losers and anticipate what's going to happen or participate as that's what we should do. So Carvana, Beyond Me, and Wayfair, I'm in these types of stocks, especially Carvana and Wayfair. Not good for me. These things have been going up they're in a position or a level that they could squeeze. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Um, and yeah, it had a good day and it's on hard buy, but it looks like it's a breakout. So um, yeah, things are not looking great for me. And let's hope that it turns around. But you know how things are. It's probably not going to turn around. Beyond Meat did well. It's kind of staying in this area, kind of doing a little bump up. If it gets above $9 or 10, I would suggest, if you have the bandwidth for money, to get on it. Actually, yeah, $10 would be amazing because that was probably the breakdown point. $10 would be great. And, you know, short that pop up there. Tesla had a wonderful day, close to, you know, 3.70%. I think still the EVs are not doing great. However, this had us, I guess, some good news or something. I didn't read the watch list, so I don't know why this bumped up. But I'm still not. I would still say I'm kind of bearish on this because this is not the darling of the show anymore. The narrative is now AI, chips, and anything that has to do with imaging and, you know, AI, artificial intelligence. So I'm sorry, but this thing is probably gonna, you know, maybe do a pop up from today and tomorrow. But you can see it turned around. It it ended on the low side. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, so yeah, it went up 3% or more in the pre-market. So if you had it the night before, it popped up. That's when you would have done well. So three mountains to the sky, it reached 184, and then it basically broke down and gave everything back to where it started. So this is why I'm not into these EV darlings anymore, and the narrative has changed. Um, and so you got to be careful. If you're in anything in EV, I would not recommend longing it unless it is Tesla and you can just get out right away. DraftKings, muy interesante, very interesting. Somebody brought a good point today about DraftKings. Is like, why? Why would this go up? And then we started to think, oh, the March Madness, basketball, you know, bets, you know, people going betting left and right on the basketball tournaments, and that makes sense. So, you know, maybe the next couple of days until March Madness is over, this will probably maybe even hit 50. Who knows? It looks like it's breaking out actually. So it's maybe doing like a Carvana type of thing. So we said this is a level potential. Let's see. Yeah, it's at the level right here. So the next possible level will be 60 if it continues to break out. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Just be careful because, you know, March Madness is almost over. But that would be a good reason to for this to go up. Don't want to look at Wayfair. Don't want to look at Dash or Peloton. But this actually did a good little mini pop. I would suggest to wait until it gets above 450 or even 5. That would be better. It's trending down. Obviously, this is going to go to gutter land. And I anticipate maybe by the end of the year, it will be less than $2 or $1. It'll bounce around, maybe like open and stay between 3 and 2, 2 and 3, maybe pop up to 5. That's when you want to get in. And then it will continue its downward spiral because, you know, the fad is over with this. Basically, whoever got swiped on this, it got swiped at the top. And if you took your money and ran, that's the best thing. But now it's just going down. Speaking of this fad, they had talked about Lulu, or Diamond Dave had, and this is also a fad that will probably not last with this pricing. You know, it got to the top around 500, 520, 15 or 16 or so, but you know, it's starting to higher lows.
The chart says it all.
Higher lows. So every mountain has been going. So if it does by any chance pop up to this 500, that's when you want to definitely consider jumping into the bandwagon of a short, maybe getting a contract on this and KAT in because actually no, it would if it fills this. I was looking at it wrong. So yeah, you can see it with the dramatic drop here. If by any chance it goes up here, maybe to this line, just continue to write it down all the way here because this is, you know, think about it logistically. These are just yoga pants. How could this be a $500 stock? You know, the most that it could be maybe 100. So, um, that's basically it. So maybe it'll go back to potentially maybe pre-pandemic levels. I still think consider this kind of high for yoga pants, 257. But yeah, from 386 to 257, that's where I would say if it does a little pop up to 400, get into a contract and write it down. MU, not surprised by this. Like I said, the narrative, the darlings are the chips, and this had really good earnings because now they are making dinero, money, money, money. And it went up 261% up. You know, the anticipation was, hey, we're still not making that much money, but now they are. So, you know, not surprised by this. Let's look at Dollar Tree, our darling. It's continued to consolidate. Um, I think it's gonna hover around here maybe for a few weeks more, like maybe here where it did that kind of like it hovered and then it started to pick up back up. So I would say maybe a month or two where it does range bound. It could go down as well a little bit more, but I think this is the level that it's going to create, and then it starts to fill this back up. But let's see what other factors apply that it could make it go down. If it gets back down here, that's definitely a buy for us, or below this in this any of this area level is a good buy. But time will tell. It could get down here, especially in the summertime. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Bank of America up there at 37 land, 3720 land. I remember this price when I first started trading. This is the price of Bank of America when I first got like my first stock. So went back to it. If you can get it below, we like this area 30. I don't know if it's going to get here anytime soon because things are going to go up before they go down. I think it's going to hit the next level because the momentum of this chart is telling us, hey, it's a long until it's not. So basically, if you are considering this stock, I would suggest to go long if it loads. So here it is. This thing is going cray cray. The next level is definitely going to be 38. So, you know, you may want to do a buck and say, hey, let's see what happens. So it already surpassed this level up here. It's actually there. Like I said, maybe, you know, go up to 38 or so before anything consolidate. It could get up to 40 as well. Maybe, you know, it looks like it's doing like little mini increment steps and stuff like that. So, but it's definitely going up, not down. Okay. Okay, Azo, we talked about that. If you have more than $4,000 and you just want to set it and forget it, I always say this, buy it at some sort of dip and just forget it and you'll be Rico. Netflix. Yeah, $631.44. Again, it's very aggressive going. The trend is definitely very, very, very steep. And I don't see anything but going up till the 700 level. So again, if you want to consider getting this, maybe a few shares, jump in it, see if it gets to 700 and KAT, because that's what's going to get. It's already at 635, which is this level here. This is the top, 700. So I say, hey, if you got that extra cash or just want to spend it on one stock, this thing moves about $13 a day. Why not? Intel. Okay, so it seems like it's going to get to that. I think we identified 40. as a level that we would potentially try to get this. Um, it's going down. So let's see if it gets there and, um, consider this for the future. But yes, we're continuing to observe. The trend looks like it's curving down. This may be a test area of getting 40, somebody like 38 as well. So just wait and see. Don't go too crazy here with the shares, and maybe see if it gets to this level to really go along that. Google, here it is. Basically, the trend was going down, 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 down. Here's the reversal, up, then way up with some news with Apple. And now it's going to hit all-time highs. It's above the 50, above the 200. And yeah, it's going to get there. It's going to get to that 154 level, which was here, a couple of weeks ago. So the market is telling you things are going up. So that's what you should follow. Follow the trend, not be a contrarian until you get a signal that to be contrarian. So we'll skip Roku for now. Actually, let me jump on it just to see where is it at. Okay, so it's liking this level a lot, creating a very good solid consolidation. Will it go up? It looks like it's not gonna go up. I think it's gonna consolidate here for a little bit while, and then it's gonna get down. That's my opinion. This thing, everything else is going skyrocket except this. So I would be cautious, and it's still losing money. So that tells you all you need to know. Caro, I wanted to get out of this, but I didn't. I put an order in and it didn't take it to get some of it out, and I forgot at the end of the day. But it looks like it's going up. Wait until you get to the 200 level. If it gets back up there,
Well, it went down. Did it go up today? Or?
it looked like it was flat to me. Sort of down, went back
Okay, so
up.
it went a little down. Okay.
Yeah.
So it has
So
been going down the past few days. So go back to the daily real quick.
it's been going up.
And it's on hard to buy. Yeah, okay, probably like 30
I
days
think
ago, it got to the low point.
I think if it gets above this 133, just wait for 150. And we really like this 165 area level because it consolidated for a long time. So just
So what
wait.
makes you think it's going to come back up instead of just go back down?
It looks like it's going back up.
No, but what makes you think it's going to ultimately continue to go back
That's
up?
what we had talked about yesterday, where let's see if it goes back up.
Uh-huh.
So if it goes back up to this level, then get it definitely, or anything above 150. Try to get the highest price as possible. This 150 area is a place where it has touch base a lot. So
Okay.
if it gets
No,
so let's
it's fine. I was confused. I was thinking it was Carvana. Sorry.
so I think if it gets to that 150 area, definitely consider getting it as a short first, and then let's see if it gets above that. McDonald's looks like it was flat, 0.00%, but the trend is still going down. They had McDonald's has some good news, but I guess it was more on the what? Sorry, excuse me. Somebody's talking to me. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I was called by outside forces. So McDonald's flat. It basically went down a little bit, up, down, up, down, flat. It just stayed flat. It didn't really move. But yes, I believe there was some news with let's see, what was it? Donut Krispy Kreme? I forget what the symbol was. This Krispy Kreme, yes, D nuts. So McDonald's and Krispy Kreme are now in a business partnership where McDonald's will be selling Krispy Kremes as an option for their customers. So this thing went up like crazy. You can see that this thing is a lot of extraness. So if you have some money, I would consider shorting this for tomorrow because it has to level set at least around here at $16. And you can tell I'm right because it's already on hard buy, because this is kind of like a rejection point around 20. So that's why this thing went up the yin yang to about 17% before pre-market and stuff like that. So it's still going. It's still going, but it has to kind of level set. You know, it's probably not going to get down here, but it should kind of get maybe down here at least. So, you know, just consider that. And if you can. Target. Looks like, you know, it's been going up with like the rest of the market. Hold on a second. External forces are calling me again. My apologies.
Sorry, Deanna.
I don't know if you heard that, but somebody said, sorry, Leanna. This thing is continuing its trajectory of longness, surpassed this level here of 160. It's getting to the top of it, 180. Will it fill this gap? That's the answer. I think, yes, the way things are going, it's going to get to 200 or at least to this area, 190. So that's, you know, $18 or so. So I don't think it's going to get to the pandemic darling of 260, but I think it's definitely going to get to 200 if things continue in this craziness of the market of upwardness. So there you have it. Visa, I'm going to skip. Let's look at Walmart. Walmart. So Walmart's been kind of staying in this zone. It's, you know, had a couple of down days. In order for me to determine that it's going to be a short, maybe another down day, but it has to kind of really curve or has to have like a really downward. But even here, you could tell it went up like crazy, then even though it went down. The trend is still up. The trend is still up, and people are not going to stop buying at Walmart. And I think it might reach to maybe the next level of 65 and see what it is. But as far as this momentum is, it's still along. Microsoft. So Microsoft is at all-time highs, 422.40. Obviously, all-time highs is 430, but it's up there. Doing a little baby step down, but I don't believe it because every time it has a baby step down of 3 days, it picks back up. So until I see that it's below the 200, or sorry, the 50 period, we should probably put a 27 a shorter time frame. Until I see this below that, I don't believe this. I think it's going to continue going up. People want to be greedy and continue being greedy. So you can see went down and it's up. It does these little steps, consolidated steps. It might do another consolidated step, maybe stay at 425, but the next level definitely going to be 430. So, but just be careful though, because they could decide at some point, maybe not right away, they could slam it down. So anytime you're making money and you're positive, just make sure you take your money and run, even if you get back in it again, because it's extreme, but you know, people want to get more and more. CRM, AMD. We'll look at AMD because that's the darling of 2024. So the chips have been going down, at least AMD has. Same thing with Intel. So what this is saying is that people are moving money out of the chips somewhere else, but the market is still going up. So just be careful. They could purposely bring this down, maybe here, and then pick back up. So just make sure if you're on these chips, if you're short, that's on this one, make sure you're, again, going short, but taking your money every day and running because it could turn around. It could turn around because the narrative is still AI around here. Riviano. Woo-hoo. So I think this did well because of Tesla, even though it had a 0.28%, it could have been worse. So yeah, here it is. It basically um, went up, went crazy, and then it went back up, and then it slammed down. So, but again, I wouldn't trust these EVs, but you can see anytime it gets to like something up of the day, it slams back down. This would have been a great short, and even this one. So, yeah, just be careful with the EVs, guys. Amazon, um, didn't it doesn't look great on the chart. Should have been a short for sure. It looks like it's picking back up a little bit. Um, people are not buying a lot, I guess, or they could be buying a lot with the Easter and stuff. So it just had a down day, but the trend is still up, and it's not at all-time highs, but as I have been saying, it's almost there. So it's reached this mountaintop at 178, 180. The next place to go is 190. So it's gonna get there. So just make sure, again, you're managing your risks, get some shares, not extra crazy. But if you do get extra crazy, just make sure that if it goes against you, you get out quickly and make sure that you take your profits as soon as possible. Mansana, this has been kicked around the most. So compared to everybody else, this hasn't been bringing the market down. Before, this was more heavily weighted in whatever Mansana did, Apple, it would bring the market down. Obviously, this has not been the case this year because Apple has been going down almost every single day. And then when it has these um patterns of greatness, it's something happens, I think this is the lawsuit or whatever, and now it's starting to go back down. We had identified that if it surpasses this level here, we thought that the next level would be down here. I'm thinking maybe 150 first and consolidate before it gets down. That's a long way to go, but let's see if it surpasses this first. It's consolidating here. It's not been having the greatest news every day in China and stuff. So this is a trend that's a short. It's a short until it's not. Dix, again, it's consolidating here, this 220 level. I warned you guys that it's a long until it's not. Looks like it's curving, but I'm not convinced yet until we get something that tells us this thing is going to be slammed down. It's really, the indication is, I think it's going to be for earnings, maybe that it slams down, but people are going to get as much, squeeze this as much as possible. Because even on down days, it still looks like it's an up day. So that's Dicky for you. 218, baby. So, last couple of days, was up, down, pick back up, down, kind of level set is going down. So maybe another down day tomorrow. We'll see. Time will tell. But it is a good area to potentially short. Home Depot, we haven't seen that in a little bit. Let's look at XOM. XOM had a down day and picked back up, basically. If you shorted at the beginning of the day, it would have been fabulous. So here's that 150 mark, 115 level that they had said to investors to wait when they upgraded this. So here it is. Will it curve down? I don't know. I think it won't. I think it will reach back up to that 20 because this is curving up, upward momentum, very strong. No sign of stopping the train. Mostly every single day, even on these little down days, it's been very, very strong. Super strong. Here's curving back up. That it's gonna get to this 120 level, uh, in my opinion. Here's Nikete, Nike. Okay, so it's gonna get to that $90 level. Bad news with China, all this stuff, even though it had good earnings. So I think if it gets to this 190 or even here 91, I think it's a good test for Nike because we had said this before and we failed where we were like, oh, we should have gotten some shares and gotten it here. But I think the difference is here when it got to this kind of 90 area, it was going to have earnings. But here it's it already passed earnings and earnings is going down. So it might potentially get down here too before it starts to pick up back up for the next earnings call. So that's what I would tend to forecast. Open, not at 3, but in not exactly at 3, but a good it actually did hit 3. Anytime you see that it hit this $3 area, just short it. It's picking up, but it's gonna go down. Okay. Look at this cross. I'm sorry. One more second. I'm getting another interruption by outside sources. One more minute or less. Okay, I should not continue now. So yes, anytime it hits this $3 area, consider popping it. Consider shorting the pop. Yeah. All right, so that's open for you. Our favorite of all times, and I know it's Leanna's favorite, it's Meta. So it's $500. It's had a little like down day, air quotes. I'm still not convinced that this thing is gonna go down and that the market is gonna make it slam down. So it's a long until it's not, guys. That's the theme of the day. Man, if you got this here and shorted it, fabuloso, fabulous. Actually, if you got it here and just waited till the end of the day, you would have made from 510 to 496. That's a good, decent amount of cash. Let's see if this trend continues. But again, they like to do this. Meta likes to do this where it slams it down like crazy, as you can see in the chart. Every single time it does a slam down. Let me just. Okay. Every time it has a slam down, consolidates, maybe goes down a little bit more, but then it goes back up to the level. So uh, that's the pattern, and the trend is still moving upward. So let's see. I think it's gonna do it again. It'll pick up back up tomorrow and continue the flow. EBC, we'll take a look at that and call it a day. The other things, we'll look at NVIDIA and maybe potentially BA and call it a day. So here is EBC. We still like it below here. It's it picked up some days. The bank is strong. The banks are strong, but this one is not as strong. I would say if it continues downward, just wait. Just wait. It's consolidating here. Really, no indication if it's going up or down. And if anything, it probably will go down before. Maybe. Sorry. It will. I think it's gonna stay in a range before it continue before it goes down. When the big banks go down, then this will go definitely downward. But I think it will stay probably in this range, like here before for a minute. Okay, but try to get it below 12, if anything. Um, so our darling Boeing, who has been kicked in the butt every single day, had a good day the last couple, it had good days, but starting to go back down. So we said we liked it here. It would have been a great one long because the CEO is saying sayonara, but he's still gonna be there for 9 months. So I'm not convinced. We want to see if it proves us that it could stay above 180 and 190. So as far as I can tell, hasn't proven to me yet. But if you're gonna get it 180 or below to get this. So let's see. Next week it could be another something happened to the airplane type of thing. NVDA, the darling, still trend is up. They had forecasted or price target this to 1,100. Let's hope that it doesn't get to that, unless of course you're going long. But yes, so this trend is obviously saying it's a long until it's not. And if you get into this, make sure you get out the same day and take your money and run. If you're going to short it, the same thing. Get your money and get out because the next day it could reverse and be at 960. So that's what's kind of been doing. So that's all I have to say. I don't have anything else in the 2-minute time frame for y'all. And that's basically it. Maybe look at this logistic thing real quick for you guys. Going back to the collapse. So logistic providers are urgently working to update clients on the status of their imports and exports after the port of Baltimore was shut down. The city's Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed early Tuesday after a 10,000 container capacity vessel Dolly collided with bridge pillar. Rescue efforts are underway. There will be dozens of diversions in the next week and hundreds in the incoming months as long as Baltimore is shut down. So yeah, I don't know if you guys were able to see the video, but it was like unbelievable. So this is one of the pictures of the aftermath, and it's just very, very unfortunate. That's it. That's all I have. I wish you guys a good evening. And if you have any questions or comments, Miss Green, and I apologize for the outside forces interrupting me.
No time. Bye.